Thank you very much for
Okay,
presenting today.
so let's start. My name is Yuval, and I'm the CEO of InterQR. We make a very special and unique smart intercom systems. So let's just dive in on what we do. Our core product, the Smart Intercom, is a web-based intercom system. Excuse me, is an app-based intercom system. There are lots of other app-based systems. Ours is unique in the sense that it's panel-free. There's no panel outside for the guests. The guests come to the entrance and they see a sign with a QR, just like you see here, asking them to scan the QR in order to enter. They scan the QR, they get the list of the apartments showing up on their phone. They select the right apartment. Sometimes they need to select the resident if there are multiple residents at that apartment. And then the app rings at the phone of the resident. If the resident chooses to answer, the resident will see the guest through the guest's front camera of the phone, and the resident will hear the guest through the microphone of the guest. The system itself is made out of 4 components: an IoT relay that connects the door to the internet, a sign that we just showed, a keypad for the use of the residents, and the cloud, obviously. If you happen to have in that building residents who don't feel comfortable operating an app, usually it's the elderly population, there's no problem at all. Those people will get a phone call, and that call will always come from the same number, so we tell them to keep it on their contact list. They talk to the guest, and if they want to open the door, they just press the star button, and the door will open. All right, next slide. What's the advantage of this system over other systems? Obviously, it's very comfortable for the residents. They don't have to be at home in order to open the door, and if they do, they don't have to get off the couch. They can hand off virtual keys to delivery people for a one-time opening of the building, or a multiple opening if they host dinner, for instance. They send all their guests that key, and all the guests come into the building. They don't have to worry about utilizing the phone or the intercom. They just help themselves in. If you have residents or the kids of residents that are younger than 16 years old, you make them hidden users, which means that they have the app, they can open to their friends if they call them through the phone, but when somebody scans the QR, those users are not visible. It's also good for the residents themselves if they go on a vacation. They just make themselves hidden and nobody reaches out to them. To make life easier for the management company and also for the residents, we can allow people to self-manage their own apartment, adding and removing users from the apartment without the intervention of the management company. That is optional. Another major advantage of our system is reliability. Both parties are using their phones to communicate and have that intercom call, and people change their phones every 1.5 to 2 years. So in our intercom system, the camera, the screen, the microphone, the speaker, they all are always brand new because they keep changing. And that creates a very, very high level of reliability, and it allows us to sell this system with a lifetime warranty for that reason alone. The setup itself is very simple. A skilled technician can do this in 45 minutes. A novice can do this in an hour and a half. You have to hang up the sign, and you have to connect the relay and the keypad to the lock, and that's it. You're done. In addition, there's no other infrastructure needed, no cabling, no anything. You don't have to pay anything, including internet, by the way. We bring our own internet. There's a SIM card inside our relay, so we don't even have to give us Wi-Fi in order to operate the system. Additional advantage of our system, it's highly resilient. The reason is, there's 2 reasons for it. First of all, it's broken into components. So if something breaks down, it's only that component, unlike other systems that gives you one product that has everything, keypad and a screen and a camera. In our case, they're all separate. So if something breaks down, that thing is the only one that breaks down. Moreover, all our items are very rugged. It's keypad, which is very rugged, IoT, controller. It's super, super resilient. because it's only 4-component system, and it's very easy to install, we actually allow for a very affordable a subscription-based pricing. Okay, I'm not going to get into it, but people find it very easy to follow and actually make it affordable for them to buy. Another advantage, we have an advanced web portal for managing all the various options on the system. It's very convenient for management companies. They add people, they remove people. They can actually schedule people to be removed if they know somebody's moving in and out. It's a very powerful portal with lots of various abilities. Last but not least, I want to mention this is the most greenest intercom system out there. People are using the devices that already have their phones, and we just add one controller, so our ecological signature is the lowest of any other system out there. Let me go through. I'm running out of time. We have a lot of advanced features to the system. You can remotely unlock the door on a permanent basis, on demand, on via timer. If you need the door to be open daily between 8 and 10 permanently, no problem. You set it up in a second. You can use this intercom as an alert. You can set alert if the door was open more than X amount of time within a given time frame, let's say at night. You can get alert being forwarded. You can remotely active and deactivate fobs. Also, you can associate fobs with a person, so you can see if that person entered or didn't enter under some circumstances. Otherwise, we can keep your privacy. You can allow a selective entry of users, some users entering some doors at some time. If you have a gym or a conference room or a swimming pool, they have opening hours, or you schedule this conference room, only the people who schedule it can enter. Also, we made custom solutions. For instance, for kindergartens, we built a special system working the needs of the parents and the kindergarten to enter at various times. I'm afraid I ran out of time. We have a version for offices. I'm not going to get into it. We are integrated with smart locks, so you can combine your door for the apartment and the door for the building together within the same app, same abilities. And I'll just say 2 words. We are combining now IP cameras into the InterQR system, so there'll be one place that controls access to the cameras and access to the doors. And also, by request of one of our largest client, we're integrating it with fire detection system. So fire alarms can be forwarded into the portal as well. Thank you very much for your time. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you happen to have any.
Thank you, Val. Yeah. Well, I get here we go. Questions are coming through. I've got a couple just to start us off with. I just help all of us and me as well. When I look at some of our buildings we manage on a day-to-day basis. It's got the big door entry systems with fobs and everything. So essentially, this little QR code implemented on the sign outside, will that just work seamlessly with? Would you sort of decommission the main door, and everything will be controlled through the app?
Yeah, but you don't have to decommission anything other than the old intercom panel. And even that, you don't have to decommission the old intercom panel. We just recommend that people do, because otherwise it's very confusing for the guests. But other than that, you don't have to decommission anything. We work with all kinds of old possible electrical locks or magnetic locks or sliding doors. If you have your fobs, we can keep them, but we tend to recommend to replace the fobs. It's included in the price, and we want to make sure that that the keypad is good. So if there's any problem with our system, we know there's a good backup for the simplistic keypad fob system.
Thank you. I've got James asked a question. Sorry, my screen jumped. Mel's got a question. Apologies. Can you use smart locks on their own for individual units without an intercom system?
We could. It depends on the project, but we don't market those individually. There are lots of smart locks solutions, and the smart locks we work with are not even ours. It is greatly advantageous that we have one combined app and one combined system for both the door of your apartment and the building. Okay, otherwise we're just a me too. We're nothing special. And there's a lot of other solutions which are easier and make more sense.
Thank you for answering that, Yuval. Can you maybe just talk me through, or talk all of us through, any sort of adoption of this, where you've implemented it at a building, and how the residents were, moving across from a more traditional system, shall we say, to one that works on their phone?
Right. They found it actually, a lot of them found it initially very intimidating. To be honest, they don't know if it's going to work for them. They're going to miss people calling them in, or the other fear is that their guests are not techy enough to use a QR, which is a very legitimate concern. Regarding the last concern, what we say is something very simple. Your guests are divided into two groups, those who have your phone number and those who don't. Those who don't have your phone numbers are delivery people, construction people, young people who can't breathe without their smartphone. They will take their phone, they will scan the QR, they will enter, no problem. Among those who do have your phone numbers, some will find it intimidating, the less technical people. And what they will do, they'll just call the resident. They'll say, oh, I'm downstairs. You have this new fancy entry system, and I don't know how to operate it. And so the resident says, no problem. Opens the app and clicks the button and opens the door. But what we do, because a lot of people are intimidated, we give our clients a 3 months tryout period in which they can return the product for no cost on their behalf whatsoever. We give them such a long time to get used to it and see that it's not such a big deal, and it's very easy to use and not that intimidating. Before we did that, people were afraid and they were asking to return the system like after a week. When we gave it 3 months, there were no more returns. People thought it's actually very intuitive and very easy to use.
Great, thanks, Yuval. I think that's quite common with any sort of change. People are quite scared, aren't they? And
I see
it's a
there's
big
one more
change.
question.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
emergency services, if it works off a management company, they can generate links that will open the door, or if there's any need in advance, they can, by push of a button, the management company can make all the doors open remotely, and you don't need to do anything. We never work directly with emergency services. It was always through the management company. But if there's a need for us to give an access to an emergency system, that's as easy as providing them with a link that they can use whenever they need to.
I think that's really important. Thank you, Frank, for asking that question, because in our sector, there's not necessarily always someone available 24 hours to give that access. So that's something that probably will need to be automated, and to make sure our buildings are safe and people can evacuate. Yeah, Mel, was that just a comment? It's been good to giving access to contractors. Yes, I think there's loads of ways in which the portal can be used, or the platform can be used to pre-program loads of different things. So thank you. There's no more questions here. Thank you so much, Yuval, for presenting today. Yeah, it's a great product. Wonderful to see if someone tries it out and can feed back to us.